दाग इतराए हुए फिरते हैं आज, शायद उनकी आबरू होने लगी। साहब, ये मुझे मालूम नहीं कि मैं इस तारीफ के काबिल हूँ या नहीं हूँ। मैं एक अदना सा बंदा हूँ, छोटी सी प्रैक्टिस है, कोशिश करता हूँ कि अच्छा हो। आज मुझे ये हाँ, और एक बात ये कहना है कि सैफ, यू आर स्पीकिंग सच अ फ्लावरी लैंग्वेज विद सच अ गुड कमांड। सब लोग तो आपके सामने फीके लगने वाले हैं। मुझे लगता है कि मैं आपका कह सकूंगा या नहीं कह सकूंगा। तो आज का टॉपिक है बियॉन्ड मेडिसिन, मुस्लिम मेडिकल प्रोफेशनल्स एज कैटलिस्ट फॉर कम्युनिटी ग्रोथ। इसको शुरू करने से पहले मैं आपको और दो मेहमानों से वाकिफ कराना चाहता हूँ। डॉक्टर मतीन साहब, हेड ऑफ पल्मोनोलॉजी डिपार्टमेंट एट हैदराबाद, ही इज ऑल्सो विद अस। डॉक्टर अयाज साहब, ही इज ऑल्सो फ्रॉम हैदराबाद, इज कम हियर। और वो एक बच्चा जो है उनके बाजू में बैठा है, जस्ट जॉइन रेडियोलॉजी अंडर द एजेस ऑफ डॉक्टर मतीन साहब। तो स्टेज पे डाइस पे बैठे हुए मतीन सर, एहरार साहब, खैसुल सर, अजहर सर, अजीज सर, अल्ताफ साहब, बेग साहब और मेरे फ्रेंड्स। बियॉन्ड मेडिसिन डॉक्टर्स क्या कर सकते हैं, यानी ट्रीटमेंट इज वन पार्ट ऑफ इट। आप ओपीडी में बैठ के ट्रीटमेंट करते हो, मेडिसिन देते हो, दैट्स ओके। उसके अलावा भी आप बहुत कुछ कर सकते हो टू अपलिफ्ट द कम्युनिटी। One is you can do islah, you can do dawa, you can do charity. That is one part of it. The second is you can go in for mentoring professionals या mentoring other people. उनके घरेलू प्रॉब्लम्स रहते थोड़े बहुत, उसको आप वो भी सॉल्व कर सकते when they come to you. Secondly, bridging healthcare disparities. Muslim medical professionals play a pivotal role in bridging healthcare disparities. Their commitment to community center service ensures that undeserved populations receive quality care. Here's how they make a difference. They take clinics and health camps. They volunteer at clinics and organize health camps, providing essential services to those who lack access to medical services. Then they advocate equitable healthcare services. If the poor patient comes to them or a rich person comes to them, the care is the same. They will not differentiate between either. Then cultural competence. They understand the cultural nuances, ensuring respectful and patient-centered care for diverse populations. Now, lot has been said about education. और मुझे लगता है कि education is the most important thing as of today. Being educated and having an education are totally two different things. डिग्री लेके भी जाहिल रहता आदमी, कर लिया डिग्री, BSc जो भी है डिग्री किया, फिर भी जाहिल रहता। Having an education, it broadens your mind and makes you to think rationally. That is very important. तो health literacy, यानी doctors raise awareness about health issues, emphasizing preventive measures, workshops, webinars, and community dialogues which empower individuals to take care of their well-being. Now, something more about education is that you will see throughout the history that humankind has always been divided into two groups. One always wants domination above the other. There is no other way. They form societies and have an overwhelming will to dominate and build civilization. That's the perpetual natural life cycle of humankind. The throne of domination is never vacant. If you don't strive for it, the other way. And whoever builds civilization sits on that throne. Indeed, the rise and fall of nations is due to its moral state, whether it is in health or in degeneration. It is evident from the history and archaeological evidence. Nevertheless, the rise and fall is intertwined inseparably with the state of education and technology too. If one betters the other, it degenerates. That's the rule. The two, rather than being shunned, should be held together by striking the right balance between them, education and technology. This above point is very evident in the rise and fall of Muslims from the Abbasid Caliphate, from the 7th up to the 13th century. The golden age of secular disciplines, science and technology, which set the stage for the modern science and technology. In the same period, Muslim society by and large followed the basic principles of Islam and maintained high levels of morality. The very nature of the teachings of Quran was such that it encouraged its readers to think, research and innovate. It engendered education and creativity. That is why it ushered in study, research and progress in various worldly knowledge disciplines. Medicine acquired a special place. You must be knowing of one scientist called as Abu Ali Sina. He is called as Avicenna in Western literature. The Western literature cites it as the Dark Ages, but actually it was the Golden Age for those people at that time. He did seminal work in diagnosis and treatment of diseases, which he put down in his book as Al-Qanun, and which is referred to as Al-Canon in the English literature. It went through 17 editions in various languages and was taught as the basic book of medicine there. Hospitals, as they are in the medicine in the modern form now, were first built by Muslims, and they were fully fledged, fully staffed and well administered. These hospitals were the first medical teaching institutions too, which went on to become the first medical colleges, and thus they laid the base for the modern medical education system. Now the political decline of Muslims parallels their decline in secular education that happened around the 17th to 18th century. Education institutions were restricted to religious teachings only, and education of other disciplines like maths, physics, medicine, astronomy, biology went out of vogue. While the Muslims distanced themselves from their own exploits of knowledge, that means they distanced themselves from what they had been taught, what the education was. So the Europe gained it from them. They distanced it from themselves. Europe gained it from them, developed on it, and reached heights of success around the 18th century, which brought about industrial revolution, making them rulers of the world. So that is why having an education is a very important thing. Today morning itself we were discussing how education is important. Building schools, building medical colleges is very necessary. But apart from this, you have to build schools, good schools yourselves. Don't wait for politicians to do it. You do that, it has an economic impact as well. You bring in modern technology, it helps the society. You give jobs to a lot of people, and it creates goodwill among the people too. Acquiring ilm nafi is a farz kifaya for all of us. If some acquire it, the rest are absorbed. But if none becomes an expert, then all are held responsible. So try to become an expert in every field. Mashallah, we are getting a consultant in every field now, except for endocrinology. I believe somebody will come soon. Now, ilm nafi is beneficial knowledge. Some might argue that making of wine is also beneficial knowledge. You make wine, you sell and you earn money. But then there's a differentiation. You have to know the difference between halal and haram. What is haram should not be acquired. What is halal should be acquired. Then health literacy is over. Then we go on to the economic impact. Entrepreneurship. Some establish private practices, clinics, or healthcare startups, creating jobs and stimulating local economies. Investment in the infrastructure. Muslim doctors invest in medical infrastructure, improving healthcare facilities in undeserved areas. Compassion and resilience. They exemplify compassion and resilience, humanitarian efforts during crisis. Like for example, when there was a catastrophe in Uttarakhand, many of our doctors had gone there to help. Emotional support, like I told you before, and strengthening community bonds. In conclusion, Muslim medical professionals, not merely practitioners of medicine, they are architects of the community well-being. Their impact transcends clinical walls, touching lives through education, advocacy, and compassion. As we celebrate their contributions, let us recognize that their healing touch extends far beyond individual patients. It uplifts entire communities. Thank you.